IPMNation.com.
IPM Nation presents Angry Drunk Tales.
Be angry. Me write angry emails.
Episode 5. A shit ton of money with a dozen gay black guys. Welcome to Episode 5. I am Matt Connerton, and Jen Coffey is here as well.
Hello, everybody.
And on this episode, we conclude with the final email from May 4th. There are many, many angry and colorful and frightening and creative emails to come. But this is the final email. There were 9 emails total in that one evening that
Big Jabroni
sent to
Napoleon Bonaparte.
trying to get
Napoleon Bonaparte.
to go forward with the original plan to sign over the lease or to allow
Big Jabroni
to take over the lease on the apartment.
9 emails
Yeah.
in one night after 1 o'clock in the morning.
And the reason we're only up to episode 5 is because we cheated in the first episode and actually read a bunch of emails in succession to just kind of set up the series and give everybody an idea of what to expect. Again, this continues, because it's in the same night, this continues the thread of the previous emails from May 4th, 2015, where
Big Jabroni
is threatening to have a big gay black orgy on
Napoleon Bonaparte.
his canopy bed if he doesn't come get his stuff out of the apartment and release the lease. And these emails get increasingly threatening and angry, but also very creative and interesting to read. And when
Creative?
you take
I don't know.
I think they're pretty creative.
Sometimes I think that they're from the mind of someone who's very twisted.
I mean, I like to think I'm a creative guy, but it would never occur to me, to have a gay black orgy with all huge cocks, as
Big Jabroni
said in the previous email.
You know, even though you live in one of only 2 states where filming pornography is legal, so of course other people might think of that, and in that context I can understand it, but in this
Yeah.
context, I
And
don't
Ed probably
get
thought-
it.
Big Jabroni
Probably thought of that too. I mean, he's a smart guy. Just ask him; he'll tell you all day long, literally.
Literally.
He'll knock
for
on your
hours.
door. He'll knock on your door at 2 a.m. just to tell you how smart he is.
I can make $1,000 in a night. Yes, I can.
Need a ride to Brothers?
What's that?
All
The
right.
restaurant where he works as a cook. But he can make $1,000 in a night. Yeah,
Maybe-
$4,000.
Maybe
in
when
a
he was
week.
hacking satellite, he could. I don't know.
Oh, seriously, and admits to hacking in a previous episode there.
Yes. All right. So
So what else will he admit to?
here is the final email from that particular evening of May 4th
Big Jabroni
to
Napoleon Bonaparte.
You were supposed to release the lease on both Monday and Tuesday and move your shit out. You created the drama, no one else. Do you really want to see how creative I can be in punishing you? Dude, I am much smarter than you and more creative. You cannot win at this game. Just release the lease. Take your deposit and walk away. There is nothing wrong with that, and everyone would think much more of you if you just did that. Like you were supposed to do twice last week. Instead, you, and just you, chose to make this far more complicated than it had to be. You decided that you wanted to punish people that you once thought of as friends. You decided, and only you decided, that you wanted to make 4 people who up until last week thought pretty highly of you. You decided that we were all scum. Well, me for one as scum, trust me, I won't easily or silently. And since you still have shit here, 9/10 again, by the way, prove that canopy bed belongs to you when I have 20 guys say that belongs to me. You only have one real choice here, asshole. Release your lease. Take your security deposit within the next few days. And Matt and Jen ensure that I don't invite a bunch of gay black guys over to destroy your bed. Trust me on this. As long as I have possession of your shit, my wheels are spinning as how creatively I can destroy said shit. As long as the lease is held in question, only Matt and Jen are keeping me from filming Black and Black 100 on your bed. Not decided on the title yet. How about Black Canopy Monsters? Not sure. Do you have any suggestions? Seems to me that I could make a shit ton of money with a dozen gay black guys having the night of their life all over your shit. I am glad they could even figure out ways to see your dresser and coffee table. Want to be an asshole? Trust me, I can be worse. And so far, everything I have said does not even break any laws. So good luck getting retribution. Legally, I could tie you and I'm up in court for months. Meanwhile, it's your future references that get fucked, not mine. So again, have you really thought about the game you want to play? I have to be tough sometimes, quote unquote. Dude, you are a marshmallow compared to the people I know. And yes, I know Muscle in Albany too. Lived there twice for more than a year each time. So if you think you can run there safely, well then guess what? I could make 2 phone calls there and make your life there miserable as well. I could call out a dozen or so black and Hispanic guys and just show them what you posted on Facebook, and whatever you are doing at that time, you would be fucked. I was homeless when I lived in Albany. Well, not actually homeless. I was hitching cross country. But I was hanging with homeless guys who loved me and have nothing to lose, and guys that hate racists. I am one of the very few white guys with an open invitation to the black Muslim temple there. Want to see who has more friends there? So you're going to Denver. I lived in Denver for 2 years. I could have helped you get set up, but now I'm thinking how difficult I could make shit for you out there. Seeing as how I used to be the night manager at a hostel there. I literally know hundreds of people in Denver. You are trying to play a game you cannot win. I have friends in more than 40 states, as I have lived in 43 states. And I am talking about business people and business owners. I could have given you references, but now it seems I have to ensure difficulty for you. And there you are. May 4th.
It's interesting that he thinks that on the 9th email of that day, the things that he's saying are not criminal. Mm-hmm. And you'll hear later on all of the things that he claims to be and claims not to be and claims
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Is those monsters come out in other ways.
Oh, I know. I
mean, it's just an absolute Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you'll see as the series goes on. It's amazing how much of what he says
Napoleon Bonaparte
could just as easily be applied to himself. You know, it's remarkable, and that's part of what makes this story in the long run so compelling, as well as these very interesting emails.
And here at this point, too, to give a little bit of backstory, apparently, while I slept, there was a posting on
Napoleon Bonaparte
this page that
Big Jabroni
took offense to and saw as racist, and apparently the two of them got into it on Facebook, and the next morning you and I awake to these 9 email messages and a singular message from
Napoleon Bonaparte
saying, "Get the fuck out."
Right. Well, like I said,
Big Jabroni
couldn't have handled any of this any worse.
I always thought it was interesting how the hell we ended up in the mix.
Yeah. Well,
But how can anyone figure out the mind that can be as creative as these two? The other interesting thing about
Napoleon Bonaparte
was his obsession with Dove soap.
yeah, you mentioned that before. He seemed to have a lot of it. I think he probably just stole it from a hotel or something. Who knows?
No, they were the kind of bars you buy in the grocery store.
Oh.
You know, the big bars that you get in the grocery store in like And like hotels, you don't get that. And so what if you were a night manager on a hostel? And it's really interesting that he claims to have all of these friends in all of these places, but they don't call. They don't come over.
He probably thinks they're his friends, but they all secretly hate him.
Do they simply exist in his mind?
Well, that may be too. That may be too.
I mean, we are talking about the mind of
Big Jabroni.
That's true, yes.
the creator of the black men / Hispanic large cock orgy that will be filmed and he will make a lot of money from.
Yeah, well, that's exciting. Well, he's an entrepreneur. So
I guess so.
Yeah. So that will conclude this episode of
Big Jabroni
Chronicles. Be sure to tune in next time as our story continues with more colorful, vividly frightening emails from
Big Jabroni
to
Napoleon Bonaparte.
we do have some more of that. And then, of course, eventually he begins emailing somebody else. But we'll come to that eventually. But in the meantime, Jen and I would just ask you, if you have roommates, does one of them like to send you emails? Good night.
Night.
Me write angry emails.
IPMNation.com.